The growing craze for exotic houseplants may be at the root of a spate of thefts from greenhouses and public gardens. Wellington's Botanic garden is the latest target, with brazen thieves taking a dozen plants and cuttings from its famous Begonia House. Tessa Guest reports.
The thieves came in the night and stole several exotic and highly valuable plants. Wellington Botanic Gardens manager David Soul says there was no sign of a forced entry.
So it was discovered on when the staff came in to work on Tuesday morning. They found material on the floor. The place is clean when they leave it each night. The doors are all locked externally and internally. So it was, at first they might have thought it was birds, but it was just a bit too much for birds, and started having a look around, and there were a number of plants missing.
It's a chilly Wellington day outside, but here inside the Begonia House, it's like stepping into the tropics. Long-time gardener Rachel Solomon is working in her short sleeves, plugging one of the holes left by the thieves with potted flowers. She says some of the stolen plants, which were more than 10 years old, will be hard to replace.
They're equally as hard for us to obtain and grow, so it can take time to grow to get to what we need to display as well. You know, they don't just go poof overnight and you've got an instant plant, which would be quite nice, hey?
The burglary has been reported to the police and staff are reviewing CCTV footage. David Soul says they're looking at extra security.
We're having another look at it now, and it's something we have been working on, and perhaps this is just brought a little more haste to make some decision making around that. Yes.
Mr. Soul is reluctant to say which plants have been taken because he doesn't want to encourage copycat crimes. There have been similar thefts around the country. Last month, a thief at Christchurch Botanic Gardens scaled a high safety glass window at the Orchard House to steal a rare variegated monstera. A council spokesperson says the gardens were in the process of having cameras installed in the glasshouse at the time of the theft, and they'll be operational later this month. Trade Me spokesperson Logan Mudge says the site has a number of tools to weed out dodgy traders and works closely with the police as required.
No one's 100% perfect, so if anyone out there who's an expert spots something, we encourage them to get in touch so we can take a look.
He says 2020 has been the year of the houseplant.
We've seen sales jump 235% on this time last year. Compared to 5 years ago, it's a 2,500% jump in the number of sales.
In August, a minimus sold for more than $8,000, a Trade Me record for a houseplant. New Zealand Gardener magazine editor Joe McCarroll says the prices are crazy.
It's hard to believe it will continue at the rate of pace it has been, especially in terms of the prices. You've got plants changing hands now moderately regularly for the price of a second-hand car, which seems ridiculous to me as someone who really does love plants.
Joe McCarroll says the popularity of exotic houseplants on Instagram and other social media has a dark side. Back at the Begonia House, visitors were outraged to hear of the thefts.
It's a shocking business. Yes, it's so sad to take plants, and what will they do with them?
I think it's disgusting, quite frankly. It really is.
Get the perpetrators out and have them doing some work in the community to restore what they've done. Weeding.
Gardens manager David Soul says his message to the public is if they see anyone helping themselves to plants or cuttings, to please let staff know immediately. For Checkpoint, Tessa Guest.